This week in the Uncharted update, turns out a surprising number of people think that they would win in a fight versus a grizzly bear. But first, check this out. McDonald's is announcing the farewell tour of the McRib sandwich. It's going by the way of the dodo bird November 20th. Now, while McDonald's lists this as having 7 ingredients, and I gotta read them here: rib patty, homestyle bun, sauce, pickles, and onions, I did a little digging and turns out the truth is more like 70 ingredients, including water, high fructose corn syrup, tomato paste, distilled vinegar, molasses, natural smoke flavor, modified food starch, salt, sugar, spices, soybean oil, xanthol gum, onion powder. I can't even get through it all. Bottom line, who's eating these things? Like, look, I'm not above a double cheeseburger on a road trip, but guys, don't fall for this clever marketing. You're not missing out on anything. Actually, I take that back. You are missing out on something. You're missing out on hypertension. You're missing out on depression. You're missing out on headaches. If you're one of those people that likes to eat these things all the time, do me a favor, go eat a salad with some elk on it and send me a DM and tell me how much better you feel in the morning. The U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve has been in the news a lot lately, and I thought I'd take a few minutes and break it down. Now, when the current administration took over, there were 638 million barrels in supply. As of today, there's a little under 400, and it's going to decrease more over the coming weeks as the current president has announced they're going to release more to combat spiking gas prices. But here's what's interesting. The current price of a barrel of gas is $86. During 2011 to 2014, when President Obama was in office, prices were up for, adjusted to these times, around $90. They were actually higher. And despite that, President Obama only released around 30 million barrels when there was a short-term supply issue in Libya. Releasing an emergency supply is not the right move. That's an emergency supply. Now, as of September, the United States was using 20 million barrels a day. I know you're doing the math right now, but I will cut to the chase. That means with today's number, not tomorrow's, we've got 20 days of petroleum on reserve in case something major happens, and we all know the world we're living in right now. So everyone likes to blame politics for the rise in gas prices. Well, the reality is it's Wall Street. Investors in big oil are not really jumping ahead to try to open up more wells and lower the prices. It costs them more, their profits go down, and 2 years ago they lost $76 billion as an industry. So they're pretty happy, they're gonna move slow. As one CEO said it, and I wanna get this quote right, whether it's $150 oil, $200 oil, or $100 oil, we are not going to change our growth plans. And lastly, by now, we always like to end with some crazy animal story, right? And we've all seen the picture of the 2 Montana high school wrestlers that fought off a grizzly bear. Well, I don't know if I'd call it fighting off. They played dead, which is actually a very, very smart move. But that led me down a rabbit hole, and here's what I found. 6% of Americans think they could take on a bear with their bare hands and win. I cannot almost say that with a straight face. That's crazy. I know of one bear that was killed by a man with his bare hands, and that thing is stuffed like a trophy in the $1 Million Cowboy Bar in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And to quote Kendall Cummings, one of these 2 guys, he said, "Before this attack, I thought that I could easily take on a bear. Now I know that a bear is pretty legit." No. We'll see you next week.